What's up, guys? Today's question, is it possible for a meme to get you thrown in prison? Well, it turns out if you're a Republican, the answer to that is a resounding yes. You're currently looking at the meme that got Douglas Mackey convicted of a crime and is now facing up to 10 years in prison. Now, clearly, anyone looking at this meme can tell you it's a joke. If they have at least 2 brain cells to rub together, they can tell you it's a joke. But these DAs in New York somehow disconnected themselves from reality. They must live on some weird fantasy island where jokes and memes don't exist. So let's just say we go with that story, huh? Let's just say that these DAs have no clue. You would expect these same DAs to apply the law across the board to anyone who may commit a heinous crime such as posting a meme that may possibly take away votes from poor voters who were tricked by it. That doesn't seem to be the case. Meet Kristina Wong. A Democrat in this case did the same exact thing to Trump voters, telling them to text in their votes because that is the legit way to do it. So these DAs that live on Fantasy Island that don't know what jokes are or memes are, they should be convicting this woman of the same thing. Matter of fact, what she did was even worse. She made a whole video explaining the process, walking them through it. But because she's a Democrat, she gets to walk away. These DAs now all of a sudden know what jokes and memes are. It seems that the law applies to everyone except Democrats. This is the Restrict Act, and they're going to sell this to you as a form of protection from foreign interference in the elections. They're going to say, oh, we got China over here using TikTok to interfere in our elections, or we have so-and-so website, or we have so-and-so individuals, or botnets, or whatever. They're going to say, we need this power to stop foreign actors from interfering in our elections. What they're not going to tell you is that this act gives them sweeping powers over everything on the internet. They're going to have the ability to shut down, investigate, and crush anything online that they don't like. Anything that speaks against their political party. And we already know these people use the law against Republicans. We already know that that's how they're trying to stop any form of dissent against them. What they also won't tell you is that they're going to criminalize the use of VPNs. You know that thing that you use to hide your IP address and anonymize your connection? Maybe because you don't want to get any ads, or maybe because you're afraid for your safety from certain political factions or ideologues who would attack people. We know they do this. They go to people's homes, they set them on fire, cause all kinds of property damage, and you should have the right to post anonymously. This is part of your First Amendment rights, to be able to say what you want in a safe manner without being afraid for your safety. Well, it looks like with this bill, if it passes, and I think it will, because these people are controlling everything at this point. If it does pass, you can face up to 20 years in prison if you're caught using a VPN. Now, why would they do that? It could be because if you are posting anything against them or anything that criticizes them in any way, shape, or form, they want to be able to identify who the person was that did it so they can send you to the Gulag. Now, this is no different than Stalin's Soviet Russia. He would go after any of his political opponents or anyone who had anything critical to say and send them to the Gulag. So American prisons are effectively the Gulag. They're using our legal system to send people to prison. And now, using the Restrict Act, if they can get it to pass, they will be able to identify everyone and anyone who says anything critical of their party. Do you think we should be giving them the power to do this? Let me tell you about my great-grandfather who grew up in Soviet Russia. He was caught reading a newspaper that was critical of Stalin. Do you know what they did to him? They blackbagged him, he disappeared, and was sent to a gulag in Siberia to break ice until the day he died. Luckily, Stalin died and he was sent home after years of sustaining severe damage to his organs, frostbite to his hands, feet, all over his face. He only lived 2 more years after that until he passed away. This is what they want here. This is what the Democratic Party wants here. Why do they want to be able to identify every single person for being critical of their party? So they can punish you. The other thing this thing does is give them the right to go after any kind of critical infrastructure, digital economy, anything that they can come across on the internet. They have the power to shut down, investigate those people, and lock them up for whatever crimes that they may make up 2 minutes ago. That's how it works. Now, Beria, who was Stalin's assassin, was famously quoted as saying, "Show me the man and I will show you the crime." They can find anything. They can just make up crap and send you in. So you may be thinking, Mike, You know what? You're crazy. These DAs aren't picking on Republicans. They're applying the law evenly to everyone out there because no one's above the law. Take a look at Hillary here, who is guilty of criminal negligence. The emails she had on her server, she did not secure, and they were hacked and spread everywhere. This is information the CIA had been giving her, yet no one said a single thing to her. Hillary just made an honest mistake. They were just national secrets that leaked, nothing big. So let's let it go. Okay, you guys remember Hunter Biden, the idiot of the family who abandoned his laptop at a repair shop? The repair shop owner went through that laptop and found all kinds of crimes. When the New York Post released this information, the rest of the media came together and said, this is misinformation. It's Russian misinformation. And even Joe Biden stepped up and said, this is Russian misinformation. None of this can be true. None of the crimes in this laptop are actually a thing because it's Russian misinformation. And now Hunter the idiot is suing the repair shop for violating his privacy. This guy's an absolute moron. It took the media and his father months of creating a narrative that the Russians had somehow used misinformation to spread this nonsense of his laptop, and he goes over there with one foul swoop, shits on the entire operation. So now he's saying that was his laptop, and the repair shop owner has violated his privacy. But where are these DAs from Fantasy Island? These DAs in New York? Why aren't they investigating the whole laptop thing, trying to figure out what happened? Oh, he's a Democrat. That makes sense, because Democrats don't abide by laws. They do whatever they want. The laws only apply to Republicans, it seems. This is oversight.house.gov. It's a government website, and they're saying that the Biden family has taken millions upon millions of dollars from China and Ukraine, energy companies from China and Ukraine. Interestingly enough, energy prices have skyrocketed across the world. This family appears to be guilty of taking bribes from foreign entities in order to grant favors. And considering that the gas prices have shot up all around the world, it doesn't take a genius to figure this out. Now, this paper on house.gov says the family's being investigated, but look at what it says here. The Oversight Committee is concerned about the national security implications resulting from President Biden's family receiving millions of dollars from foreign nationals. We will continue to follow the money trail and facts to determine if President Biden is compromised by his family's business schemes and if there's a national security threat. So where are these DAs that live on Fantasy Island, that go after everyone and apply the law equally across the board? Well, these are Democrats, and Democrats are above the law. So let's take a quick look at the pedigree of the DA, Alvin Bragg, who is trying to take Trump down for some clerical errors from 7 years ago. Now, clearly this is a heinous crime. It needs to be punished. Let's take a look at this guy's pedigree. This is what he's been up to.
I just have to say, I live here. I live in this town. And if this is Alvin Bragg's justice, you know what else is his justice? Just yesterday, a monster that murdered and raped a mother on Mother's Day walked free. He doesn't have to register as a sex offender. The monster that stabbed Kristina 40 times in her bathtub, he was free to do so because he was out, even though he had 4 open cases, including a brutal beating on a subway. The violent serial rapist that choked a tourist so hard he broke all of her neck bones, he was free to do so, even though he was a known serial violent rapist and he had 2 violent priors. That is Alvin Bragg's form of justice. So this, to me, is an absolute travesty. It is the most despicable use of our tax dollars and the use of an elected official that is supposed to represent the people. The people versus Donald Trump? Absolutely not. When I live in this town, it seems that it is the district attorney versus the people here.
Alvin Bragg seems to think that these bottom feeders here who have raped, murdered, and robbed people on multiple occasions deserve several chances. Give them a second, third, fourth, 5th, 6th chance. Why not? Just give them chances. They can get their life together eventually. If they kill enough, if they rape enough, maybe they'll find their way. This is the same DA that's going after Trump for misdemeanors, clerical errors from 7 years ago. So we're supposed to take this seriously? We're supposed to sit back and go, oh, you know what? Justice will be served. You just got to trust the system. The system is clearly being used against you, and you're asleep at the wheel. Now, here's another one. This guy actually raped someone, and guess what DA Alvin Bragg did? He gave him 30 days in jail and 5 years probation, and then just sent him out on the streets. Do you know what happened next? This guy raped 5 more people. This is what DA Alvin Bragg is. This is what he does. He lets actual criminals go, and then goes after someone who made clerical errors 7 years ago. It's time to wake up.